What if I told you that one of the most powerful household tools you already own has been sitting in your kitchen this entire time, completely underused? We're talking about something so cheap, so accessible, and so ancient that civilizations have literally gone to war over it. Salt. And today, we are counting down all 43 of the most clever salt hacks that will genuinely change how you live, clean, cook, and survive around the house. The Chinese have been using salt as a multi-purpose tool for over 4,000 years, and many of these tricks have been passed down through generations of Chinese households long before the Western world caught on. So buckle up, because by the time we hit number one, your mind is going to be completely blown. Let's start the countdown. Number 43. Fix a wobbly cutting board. If your cutting board slides around while you're chopping vegetables, sprinkle a thin layer of coarse salt directly underneath it on the counter surface. The salt granules create micro-friction points that grip the board in place. This is a traditional trick used in Chinese home kitchens where speed and safety during food prep are both essential. Number 42. Clean your cast iron pan without soap. Pour a generous handful of coarse salt into your cast iron skillet and use a folded paper towel or cloth to scrub it around in circular motions. The salt acts as a natural abrasive that lifts food residue without stripping the seasoned oil layer. Chinese cooks have maintained cast iron woks this way for centuries, and it works just as well on American cast iron skillets. Number 41. Remove rust from metal tools. Make a thick paste by mixing salt with lemon juice until it forms a gritty texture. Apply this paste to the rusted surface and let it sit for about 30 minutes. Then scrub with an old toothbrush or steel wool. The acid from the lemon combined with the abrasive salt particles breaks down the iron oxide that forms rust. Rinse thoroughly and dry completely afterward. Number 40. Keep cut flowers alive longer. Add 1 teaspoon of salt along with a teaspoon of sugar and a few drops of vinegar to the water in your flower vase. The salt helps regulate the water absorption of the flower stems, keeping them hydrated more efficiently. Chinese flower markets and traditional households have long used variations of this trick to preserve the freshness of cut flowers for days longer than plain water allows. Number 39. Prevent ants from entering your home. Pour a thick line of salt along windowsills, doorways, and any cracks or gaps where you've noticed an activity. Ants dislike the dehydrating properties of salt, which draws moisture from their bodies when they come into contact with it. This is a completely chemical-free pest deterrent that Chinese families in rural areas have used for generations as a natural alternative to commercial ant sprays. Number 38. Descale your kettle naturally. Fill your kettle with equal parts water and white vinegar, then add 2 tablespoons of coarse salt. Bring the mixture to a boil and let it sit for 1 hour before rinsing thoroughly. The salt boosts the descaling power of the vinegar by providing extra abrasive action and helping to break up the mineral deposits that form from hard water. Your kettle will look almost brand new inside. Number 37. Make your coffee taste less bitter. This one surprises a lot of people. Add just a tiny pinch of salt, and we mean really tiny, to your coffee grounds before brewing. Salt suppresses the compounds responsible for bitterness in coffee by blocking certain taste receptors on your tongue, which actually enhances the perception of sweetness and smoothness. This hack is well known across Asia, including in Chinese coffee culture, where balance of flavor is considered an art. Number 36. Restore sponges and cleaning cloths. Fill a bowl with warm water and add 4 tablespoons of salt, then submerge your grimy sponges or cleaning cloths and let them soak overnight. The salt solution draws out bacteria and grime that regular rinsing can't reach by creating an osmotic environment that pulls moisture and contaminants out of the sponge fibers. Rinse them clean in the morning and they'll feel refreshed and much less smelly. Number 35. Peel boiled eggs effortlessly. Add a generous tablespoon of salt to your water before boiling eggs. The salt slightly penetrates the eggshell during cooking, which weakens the bond between the egg membrane and the white. When you crack and peel the egg, the shell comes away far more cleanly and quickly. Chinese home cooks who prepare large batches of tea eggs or salted eggs know this trick by heart. Number 34. Clean a dirty sink drain. Pour half a cup of salt directly down your kitchen or bathroom drain, followed immediately by half a cup of baking soda, and then chase it with a kettle of boiling water. The combination creates a fizzing reaction that breaks down grease, soap scum, and organic buildup inside the pipe. This keeps drains flowing freely without the need for harsh chemical drain cleaners. Number 33. Prevent pasta from sticking together. After draining your cooked pasta, immediately toss it with a pinch of salt and a drizzle of oil. The salt creates a light coating on the pasta surface that reduces starch-to-starch adhesion, keeping each noodle or piece separate. Chinese noodle cooks use this principle when preparing dishes that require noodles to sit before being stir-fried or served cold. Number 32. Remove wine stains from fabric immediately. Act fast and pour a generous mound of salt directly onto the wine stain while it is still wet. The salt will immediately begin absorbing the liquid, drawing the wine up and out of the fabric fibers before it sets. Let the salt sit for 5 minutes, then brush it away and treat with cold water. This is far more effective than rubbing, which pushes the stain deeper into the material. Number 31. Keep your wooden chopping board from cracking. Rub coarse salt into the surface of your wooden cutting board, along with a small amount of food-grade mineral oil or vegetable oil. The salt acts as a mild exfoliant that removes old food particles and surface bacteria, while the oil simultaneously penetrates the wood grain to prevent it from drying out and cracking. Let it sit for 10 minutes, then wipe clean. Number 30. Speed up boiling water. This is a classic misconception worth addressing properly. Adding salt to water slightly raises its boiling point through a process called boiling point elevation, but this effect is negligible for cooking amounts. The real reason Chinese cooks salt their water is to season whatever they're cooking from the inside out and improve the overall flavor. So while the boiling is barely faster, the real payoff is in how much better your food tastes. Number 29. Remove grease from a baking pan. Sprinkle coarse salt generously over a greasy baking pan or roasting tray and let it sit for a few minutes to absorb the fat. Then wipe the salt and grease away with a paper towel before washing as usual. This pre-cleaning step reduces the amount of grease going down your drain and makes the actual washing much easier, especially with stubborn baked-on residue. Number 28. Deodorize your shoes. Pour a tablespoon of fine salt into each shoe and shake it around so the salt distributes across the insole. Leave overnight and shake out the excess in the morning. Salt is naturally hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs moisture, which is the primary cause of shoe odor. Chinese families who wear indoor and outdoor shoes have used dry absorbents inside footwear to control odor for many years. Number 27. Polish copper and brass items. Make a paste using equal parts salt, flour, and white vinegar and apply it to copper pots, brass fixtures, or decorative items with a soft cloth. Work the paste into the surface in circular motions for 2 to 3 minutes, then rinse with warm water and buff dry. The mild acid in the vinegar and the abrasive qualities of the salt work together to lift tarnish and oxidation, revealing the bright metal underneath. Number 26. Keep sliced fruits from browning. Prepare a bowl of lightly salted cold water using about half a teaspoon of salt per 2 cups of water and soak your sliced apples, pears, avocados, or bananas in it for a few minutes. The salt water solution reduces oxidation by limiting the exposure of the cut fruit to oxygen and slowing the enzymatic browning process. Rinse lightly before serving and you'll notice no salty taste at all. Number 25. Unclog a shower head. Remove your shower head and soak it in a bowl of white vinegar mixed with 2 tablespoons of coarse salt for at least 2 hours, or overnight for heavily clogged heads. The salt and vinegar combination dissolves the mineral scale and lime deposits that block the water jets. Use an old toothbrush to scrub out any remaining residue from the individual holes before reattaching. Your water pressure will noticeably improve. Number 24. Clean your iron's sole plate. Sprinkle a generous amount of salt onto a sheet of plain paper placed on your ironing board. Set your iron to a medium heat with steam turned off and run it back and forth over the salted paper several times. The abrasive salt grains gently polish the sole plate, removing any burnt residue, starch buildup, or fabric deposits that cause dragging and sticking. Chinese households that iron large amounts of cotton and linen use this technique regularly. Number 23. Extinguish a small grease fire safely. If a small grease fire breaks out in a pan, reach for salt instead of water. Pour a heavy amount of salt directly onto the flames. Salt absorbs heat extremely rapidly and creates a smothering barrier that cuts off the oxygen supply to the fire. Never use water on a grease fire as it causes a violent steam explosion that spreads burning oil. This is basic fire safety knowledge that Chinese cooking households apply frequently given the high heat nature of wok cooking. Number 22. Keep lettuce and salad greens crispy. After washing your salad greens, prepare a bowl of ice-cold water with a pinch of salt dissolved in it and submerge the leaves for 10 minutes. The cold salted water refreshes wilted lettuce and helps the cell walls of the leaves absorb moisture and firm up. Drain and dry before using. Your salad greens will have a noticeably better crunch and freshness. Number 21. Remove sticky residue from pans. After cooking something that left behind a sticky layer of caramelized sugar or sauce, pour a layer of salt into the still warm pan and let it sit for a few minutes. The salt works its way under the sticky residue and loosens it, making it far easier to scrub away with minimal effort. Add a small amount of water and create a slurry to help lift even the most stubborn spots. Number 20. Prevent mold in your washing machine. Once a month, run your washing machine on a hot cycle with nothing but 2 cups of coarse salt and no laundry or detergent inside. The salt helps scrub the interior drum, draw moisture out of the rubber seals where mold loves to grow, and neutralize the damp odor that develops in front-loading machines. This is a budget-friendly alternative to commercial washing machine cleaning tablets. Number 19. Make homemade salt scrub for soft skin. Mix 1 cup of fine sea salt with half a cup of coconut oil or olive oil and a few drops of your favorite essential oil. Massage this mixture onto damp skin in gentle circular motions for 2 to 3 minutes, focusing on rough areas like elbows, knees, and heels. The salt exfoliates dead skin cells while the oil moisturizes simultaneously. Chinese beauty traditions have incorporated salt as a skin treatment for centuries. Number 18. Kill weeds between pavement cracks. Mix 1 cup of salt with 2 cups of boiling water and stir until completely dissolved. Pour this hot saline solution directly onto weeds growing in sidewalk cracks, driveways, or garden paths where you don't want any plant growth. The highly concentrated salt solution dehydrates the weed cells and prevents regrowth by making the soil inhospitable to future germination. Be careful not to use this near garden beds as it will damage beneficial soil biology. Number 17. Reduce swelling from a bee sting or insect bite. Immediately wet the affected area with a small amount of water and press a small mound of fine salt onto the sting or bite site. The salt draws fluid and toxins from the swollen tissue through osmosis and provides some relief from itching and inflammation. Leave it in place for 15 to 20 minutes. Chinese traditional home remedies frequently use salt as a first response treatment for minor skin irritations and stings. Number 16. Sharpen your scissors. Cut through a piece of sandpaper several times with a dull pair of scissors. Then, take a flat plate, pile a mound of coarse salt onto it, and press both blades of the scissors into the salt while opening and closing them repeatedly. The salt granules hone the microscopic edge of the blades, removing tiny burrs and smoothing out the cutting edge. Your scissors will feel noticeably sharper afterward. Number 15. Preserve fresh ginger longer. Pack fresh ginger root into a jar or airtight container and cover it completely with fine salt. Store it in the refrigerator. The salt creates a preserving environment that draws out excess moisture and inhibits bacterial and mold growth, keeping the ginger fresh for several weeks longer than it would last unwrapped. Chinese kitchens go through large amounts of fresh ginger, and this is one way households have historically kept it on hand without waste. Number 14. Clean your wooden furniture naturally. Mix 1 tablespoon of fine salt with 1 cup of warm water and a few drops of dish soap. Then dampen a soft cloth with the solution and wipe down wooden tables, chairs, or shelves. The mild salinity in the water helps lift surface grime and grease while being gentle enough not to damage the wood finish. Dry immediately with a clean cloth to prevent watermarks. Number 13. Restore color to faded black clothing. Soak faded black garments in a basin of cold water mixed with 2 tablespoons of salt for 30 minutes before washing normally. The salt helps set the remaining dye in the fabric and reduces further fading during the wash cycle. This is a common laundry practice among Chinese households that frequently wash dark clothing and want to preserve the richness of the color. Number 12. Keep your outdoor umbrella or patio table looking clean. Mix a solution of warm water with several tablespoons of coarse salt and use a stiff brush to scrub outdoor furniture, umbrella fabric, and patio surfaces. The salt solution breaks down mold spores, mildew, bird droppings, and general grime without the need for bleach or chemical cleaners. It's particularly effective on canvas or polyester umbrella fabric where mildew loves to grow in damp conditions. Number 11. Preserve fresh herbs for much longer. Chop your fresh herbs such as parsley, cilantro, chives, or basil, and layer them in a small jar with alternating layers of fine salt. Seal the jar and store it in the refrigerator. The salt draws out the natural moisture from the herbs and creates a preserving brine that keeps them green and aromatic for weeks. When you use them in cooking, add slightly less salt to the dish to compensate. Chinese people have used salt preservation for vegetables and herbs as a household staple for thousands of years. Number 10. Fix a scratched wooden floor. Mix fine salt with a few drops of olive oil to create a thin paste and rub it gently into a shallow scratch on a hardwood floor using a soft cloth. The oil moisturizes and darkens the exposed wood to better match the surrounding finish, while the mild abrasive salt helps smooth the rough edges of the scratch. Buff with a clean, dry cloth, and the scratch will be far less visible. Number 9. Unclog a stuffy nose with a salt rinse. Mix a quarter teaspoon of fine, non-iodized salt into 1 cup of warm, distilled or previously boiled water and stir until fully dissolved. Use a neti pot, a saline rinse bottle, or even a clean syringe to gently rinse each nostril with this solution while leaning over a sink. The saline solution washes away mucus, allergens, and irritants from the nasal passages. This practice has roots in both Ayurvedic and traditional Chinese wellness routines and is now medically recommended by doctors worldwide. Number 8. Stop hiccups instantly. This is a classic Chinese household remedy. Place a small pinch of fine salt directly on the tip of your tongue and let it dissolve slowly. The salt is believed to stimulate the glossopharyngeal nerve and disrupt the reflex arc responsible for the hiccup spasm. Many people report that this works within 1 to 2 hiccup cycles, and it's completely safe to try at any age. Number 7. Clean a glass vase with a narrow neck. Fill the vase about 1/3 full of warm water, then add 2 tablespoons of coarse salt and a splash of white vinegar. Place your hand over the opening and shake the vase vigorously for 30 to 60 seconds. The salt granules act as tiny scrubbers inside the glass, scouring away mineral deposits, algae stains, and hard water rings that brushes cannot reach due to the narrow neck. Pour out the mixture and rinse thoroughly with clean water. Number 6. Treat a sore throat with a salt gargle. Dissolve 1 teaspoon of fine salt in 8 ounces of warm water and gargle with this solution for 30 to 60 seconds at a time, then spit it out. Do this 3 to 4 times a day. The salt gargle works by drawing fluid out of the inflamed throat tissue through osmosis, which reduces swelling, and by creating an osmotic environment in the throat that inhibits the growth and activity of bacteria and viruses. This is one of the oldest and most universally recommended home remedies for throat pain, and Chinese people have been prescribing this exact remedy for generations. Number 5. Make scrambled eggs fluffier and better tasting. Add a small pinch of salt to your raw eggs and whisk them together, then let the mixture rest for 15 minutes before cooking. The salt begins to break down the protein structure in the egg whites before they hit the pan, which results in a creamier, fluffier texture and a more even set when cooked. You'll notice an immediate difference compared to eggs that are salted during or after cooking. Chinese breakfast egg dishes follow this exact principle for a better texture. Number 4. Preserve seasonal fruits and vegetables for the winter. This is one of the most important and practical salt hacks drawn directly from traditional Chinese food preservation practices. Pack sliced vegetables or whole small fruits into sterilized glass jars and cover them completely with a brine made from 1 tablespoon of non-iodized salt dissolved in 2 cups of water. Seal tightly and store in a cool, dark place. The salt brine creates an anaerobic environment that favors beneficial lactobacillus bacteria and prevents the growth of harmful pathogens, essentially pickling and fermenting the contents so they last for months without refrigeration. This technique gave rise to Chinese pickled vegetables like payokai, which are eaten daily across Chinese households and have made their way into American cuisine through Asian grocery stores and restaurants. Number 3. Remove odors from your refrigerator completely. Place a small, open bowl filled with coarse salt mixed with a few drops of lemon juice inside your refrigerator on one of the middle shelves. The salt continuously absorbs moisture and airborne odor molecules, while the lemon provides a light, fresh scent. Replace the salt mixture every 3 to 4 weeks. This is a natural, non-toxic, and extremely affordable alternative to commercial fridge deodorizers, and Chinese households have used variations of this technique to keep food storage areas smelling fresh for a very long time. Number 2. Whiten your teeth naturally with salt. Mix a pinch of fine salt with a small amount of baking soda and just enough water to form a paste. Dip your toothbrush into the paste and brush your teeth gently for 2 minutes, then rinse thoroughly. The mild abrasive action of the salt combined with the gentle bleaching properties of baking soda helps remove surface stains from coffee, tea, and food. Use this no more than 2 or 3 times per week to avoid excessive enamel wear. Chinese people have used salt-based tooth cleaning practices going back centuries before modern commercial toothpaste existed. And now, we have arrived. Number 1. The salt hack that has genuinely stood the test of thousands of years of human history and that every single person watching this video can use starting today. Preserve and cure your own food with a dry salt rub. Take any protein, whether it's chicken, pork, beef, or fish, and coat it generously on all surfaces with coarse salt. Place it uncovered on a rack in your refrigerator for anywhere between 2 hours and 24 hours, depending on the size of the cut. During this time, the salt pulls moisture out of the protein through osmosis, and then that moisture dissolves some of the salt and gets reabsorbed back into the meat along with the salt. This process, known as dry brining, fundamentally transforms the texture and flavor of meat by breaking down tough muscle proteins and creating an intensely seasoned interior that no amount of surface seasoning can replicate. Chinese people have been using salt curing and dry salting as a primary method of food preservation and flavor development across thousands of years, producing legendary preserved foods like Jinhua ham, saltfish, and lapcheong sausage. American cooks who adopt this single technique will immediately notice their grilled steaks, roasted chicken, and pan-seared fish reaching a completely new level of flavor and texture quality that restaurants achieve, but home cooks rarely crack the code on. So there you have it, 43 genuinely clever and historically grounded salt hacks that work, that are practical for American homes, and that draw from one of the richest food and household wisdom traditions in human history. The Chinese have known for millennia that salt is more than a seasoning. It is a tool, a preservative, a cleaner, a medicine, and a secret weapon hiding in plain sight in your kitchen cabinet. If you got value from even one of these hacks today, smash that like button and let me know in the comments below which hack surprised you the most. And subscribe if you want more life-changing tips like these every single week. I'll see you in the next one.